All right, there you go.
Okay, I'm ready.
She's a recording.
All right, it's Wednesday, August 20th at 6 p.m. and we're gonna start the Clerk Grum, can you do the roll call?
Sure. How do you identify?
Committee member.
Committee member, which one? Committee
either
person?
one.
Okay, committee person, Dan Dunn.
Here.
Committee person, Jeff Urso.
Here.
Committee person, Mike Dunn.
Here?
Committee person, Trustee Prager.
Yes. And then, and just so we have for the video, Mike Dunn is the chair of the committee and is present this evening.
Okay.
Just gonna ask if there's any public comment.
Any public comment?
No, I'm waiting for the pledge.
There's no pledge.
No pledge.
Pledge today?
All right, no public comments. And then new business. And then, so we're looking for the approval of roads committee meeting minutes of June 24th, 2025.
Yep, and I think in our packets, we have the minutes provided by Clerk Grum, so if everyone had a chance to review, and if we need a couple minutes, please do so.
Just as a side note, you could have just put Mike instead of M-I-K-I-E.
I think the spelling of,
Mike.
so one of the corrections on the minutes, Clerk Grum, I think is, Chair Dunn's name, if you could fix
I
that.
am
Mike
so
Dunn.
sorry.
Mike or Michael.
What would you prefer?
Mike is fine?
Mike. M-I-K-E.
Yeah.
Got it.
Go with KOW.
Yeah.
King of the world.
No, I really
It used to
appreciate
be
your
M-I-K,
corrections, because I feel
it
that.
used to be M-I-K-E-Y.
I'll motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 24th, 2025.
I will second that.
And we have a second.
How are you?
And then Clerk Grum, if you want to do a roll call.
Yes. Committee member Dan Dunn.
Aye.
Committee member Jeff Urso.
Aye.
Committee member Mike Dunn.
Aye.
Committee member Chris Prager.
Aye.
All right, and then we'll go to the overview of the Shields Township Road District map.
So I'll show you guys, Chris, you brought this up last time, so Rob and I took this and we need it back, but you can look at it as long as you want. This gives you an idea of when roads were paved last. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard. Anybody can come and look at this. It's no big deal, but it shows the years that the road was paved. Right, it doesn't reflect the condition of the road because, you know, one road might be a dead end and never used. You know, so, but it does give you, this is the Arden Shores North and South area. But it gives you just kind of an idea. Now, there might be a couple roads that we may have missed, I don't know, but it gives you a general idea of where, you had asked last time when paving was done.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
The road that we're looking to do when we have the funds, that we feel is in the worst condition is Waukegan Road down to the end of North going east. And the folks that own the auto repair place have been really great, and they just wanna know when we're gonna do it, cause they wanna contact whatever paving company gets the bid, and they wanna pay them while they're doing that to extend into them, so there's no seam. So, you know, which helps us extend the edges of the roads so they don't break off.
Do we have a date for, are we looking at 2026 for?
Yeah, it would be next year. We've got a bid through the county, but we'll have to rebid it because it's gonna extend too far. So all I'd like is just this back. If we really want it, I can go and have copies made at a copy.
Real quick, Supervisor, just for the video, I'd like to recognize that Chris Pappas is also on the committee and has joined us this evening. So, Clerk Grum, if you
Got
have
it.
that.
Thank you. The minutes reflect.
Thank you.
So, I understand east of Birch on North as well. I also think there's a couple other roads in Norwood that would probably,
Well, there are, but
yeah.
I mean, we only have so much money.
No, 100%.
So we just have to prioritize them. And North is almost down to gravel. I mean, it's the worst road.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, north is very bad.
Well, and it's not just north there, Jeff, it's going all the way up to Waukegan Road. I mean, that's where we do it.
Yeah,
And by
that's
the
the
way,
high-end commercial traffic.
right, and by the way, we would swing it in, I'm upside down now, so I can't see it. But no, but we would swing it into Birch Avenue as well. So, I'm way over here, that's why I can't see it. So we would swing it into this little portion of Birch Avenue here as you come up, and you can see the old cut line. So we would bring it to the cut line. If you go over there, you'll see when, last time Birch was paved, that,
Like right in the middle.
yeah, there's like,
Right
a-
between
it's like
Washington
right
and
here, yeah,
Pretty much the
exactly.
property lines.
It kind of, but not really, but regardless, we would do it all in one section.
Would
So
you
it'd
be
done.
doing, drainage as well at the same time?
No, north is already in pipe,
Okay,
north is done.
okay. And then, so, from my understanding, with the exception of Talbot, east of Waukegan Road, and I know there's a piece of Gloucester, has been paved in the 2000s, correct?
Yes, Talbot was too. Talbot was 03, but Talbot's not in bad shape. There was one small section on Talbot off of Waukegan, and we patched that last year
Yeah.
that was failing.
So the only other roads I like, I mean, I would ask that you guys look at is, I know Clover is pretty in rough shape as well.
Mhm.
I don't know what Taco Bell plans are and what's gonna happen. as
That's
far
why
as-
I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do.
Okay, so just so everyone knows.
I mean, they're gonna-
Taco Bell has purchased the property.
The office building.
The Smith Avenue office building it intends to develop.
I've
Is
got,
the curb cut still gonna be on Clover or?
yeah, we can't take it away from them. We've asked them to add an additional one onto Waukegan Road, or onto 176, but you can't remove it from them. It's their only current ingress egress. But we've told them that it can't be their primary, it can be a secondary, they need to get one off of 176, that may be
So
their
maybe the
holdup.
Clover is the exit, but the entrance is Waukegan.
Well, it'll be an additional ingress egress. I mean, I can't tell them what to do, it's like Starbucks. They have the ingress egress, I can't tell them how to use it, other than it can't be their main.
So then it looks like, West Woodland is the only one I see in the 90s.
But again, Jeff, you can look at that, but if it's in good shape and the base is
No,
good.
100%, I'm just trying to recognize when we're like 26 years ago.
So just, like I said, if you guys want copies made of it, I can take it to a printer and have them make a couple copies.
What was, North Avenue last time?
North was.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
That would,
What's the
got beat
oldest?
up from away.
Cause we've got some.
Again, it's base, it's all kinds of different issues.
Yeah, so why are you looking at mainly just the east side of Waukegan instead of the west at all?
Because that's all we can afford.
Well, what is our budget, do we know, for next year?
We don't yet, but when
This
we-
is about the same.
we tried to include that in the last time. We'll have to see what our budget shows this year. If we have enough, then we'll bid out 2 roads and see if we can do, 2 sections. North is shorter, so if there's another section we can do, we're certainly, gonna do it. But we
Right.
gotta stay within budget.
Okay.
I'm also looking, I've talked to the county, and we're looking for a road and drainage grant, because if we do any drainage work, we can use that money as part of the road work as well. So we can bleed it into the roads if we can find a drainage grant.
So would we, so in your professional opinion right now, Clover is in better shape than East North?
I won't say it's in better shape, I'd say East North Avenue is just used a lot more. I mean, Clover has,
So they're both cul-de-sacs, right? Oh, you're saying west of Birch, I'm saying east of Birch, but okay.
yeah, but,
East of Birch, it's terrible, isn't it?
well,
It's pretty
east of
terrible.
Birch, but you also, when you're doing that, you're picking up everything out of the alley, you're picking up traffic from the gas station, you're going all the way up to Waukegan Road. It just has much higher traffic.
Okay.
I mean, it just does.
I mean, the traffic pretty much stops at
West of
Birch.
Birch.
Yeah, so.
Right. But nonetheless, drive down it and you'll see.
No, I know.
Yeah, there's just nothing left of the road. It's gone.
I think a lot of people also go down north. and
We
turn
have no
around.
outlet signs, we have red signs at the end of the road, red diamonds, we send up flares, and they still turn, and they go all the way down there, and they go, oh, it's dead end. Just like the sign says, dead end, no outlet. It's still a dead end, no outlet. So,
So that's next year.
Todd Doucette had asked me if I would look at putting a no right turn out of the alley. And I can do that, but you know what's gonna affect? People on North Avenue. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Harrises are coming home, my mom doesn't, but my mom isn't the point, there's other people that live there. They can no longer come out of their own gas station
Yeah,
and
they
go
can
down their own road
do a U-turn
without
and come
quote
back.
unquote breaking the law. And you can't say, well, it's okay for the people that live there, but not for everybody else.
Sure.
It either is or it isn't. Okay, just don't lose those, please, that's my only copy. Again, I'm happy to take them to the printer
I think we
and
should
make
get
copies.
copies of them.
Okay, you want me to do that?
So the
Not-
only
not a
thing
problem.
is, before the committee recommends that.
Yeah, no, I think
We're nowhere near.
That'd be next year.
Yeah, we're nowhere near
Like,
that.
in the meantime.
We gotta see what the budget is first.
What I would ask also is you could do like a thorough, evaluation of close rooms.
I would agree.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Just based on the date that it was last time.
Yeah, just let us know where Clover's at versus
Okay,
that.
just, yeah, I'll take those and get it done.
Yeah. So.
All right.
With the Taco Bell thing, you said we can't close that
No,
egress. What if they get the cut in off 176, could it then be closed?
no. It's access to their property and we can't remove it from them. There will be a no left turn sign coming out of there. And that one actually might work a little bit better because people
Yeah.
can literally see the end of the road and go, oh, there's no
Yeah,
way out.
for sure.
That's the folder I had, so you know, just fold it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should look at how to protect the homeowners on Clover as much as possible, and maybe hopefully Taco Bell becomes a partner.
Put a speed hump right outside of the.
Well, how far in does the
Left
state
turn.
own Clover, or any street off of 176?
I wanna say it's 33 feet like the others.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's kind of how
Yeah,
Region 76 is right now.
And then, since we're kind of talking about paving and whatnot, speed humps.
Well, I think
Right.
that's,
We have an
that's
agenda.
gonna be in, item 6.
So then we'll wait.
Okay.
For that. So then, is anyone else have any questions about the overview of the road district map?
Nope.
Currently where we're at, okay, so then I think you can go to.
And then, looking into providing the crossing guard at 176 and Shag Park.
Alright.
So Supervisor,
Do
you wanna do it,
give
you
a,
wanna-
update on the crossing guard?
Well, Dan and I went and met with, Dr. Lisa Leali, and then, Jay Khan, and we're trying to figure it out, but we are gonna, the minimum is what we're trying to do is to get some kind of like signage, you know how like the school has like the little signs that's like watch for kids or whatever with the lights and stuff.
Like
Just-
flashing crosswalks.
Yes, just to make cause it's kind of making it seem like, you know, there's not enough kids riding their bikes from Norwood to get to school kind of a thing. But I feel as though if there was a safer way to pass, I mean, obviously you have to pass or cross by Target, and if there was a safer way, so I think we're gonna start out with trying to do that and then get flashlights to at least make the vehicles and traffic aware that
Have
children
they
are crossing
at least
here.
acknowledged that it is their job to get the kids safely to and from
Well,
school?
they've acknowledged that there's
Yes.
kids in, there's 800 homes.
They've
There's
acknowledged
the
the children
sanctuary
are
and Knollwood.
Yes.
And they told us that the units that they put out in the road are not only 2 men to lift them on or off the truck, but they're very expensive.
So get the stationary signs that you push the button and the lights flash where it's a crosswalk that lights up.
That's what they're talking
So we need
No,
portable
like,
signs.
They're talking the portable
about.
signs,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I found a portable sign and a solar powered red and blue flashing light that we'd have about $200 in. So, and I can,
Sounds-
that's easy, and it's a 1-person sign that you would put in the middle of the road to cross. The question that Camilla and I have talked about and asked them at 176 in Green Bay, at Sheridan and Sheridan, at Washington and Green Bay, all those are manned by school district employees.
Mhm.
So if they're manned by school district employees there, then they, in theory, should be manned by us as well. There's still school kids.
district,
Mhm.
right.
I asked Dan to look into, I believe we.
Just let me finish
yeah,
my, just
maybe
this.
176 might be the village.
It's not, he's wrong, but that's okay. Remember, what's his name? Andy
Andy
told,
Garcia.
told us that his employees manned all three of them,
Mhm,
correct?
yes.
I think they bring the
Right.
green pickup truck to Green Bay.
They're now white.
Yeah,
They're
they-
now
they-
school
Yeah.
district says white.
Yes.
That being said, if they wanted us to assist, and the board and the lawyer and Supervisor Urso decided that we, the road district, Rob, would assist, I think that it should be a cost, meaning 2 hours a day of Rob's time should be reimbursed from the school district to the township, since they're paying for the other 3 locations out of their
100%,
budget. And we, the township, are absorbing Rob's benefits. So it actually saves them money, they're only paying his wage. So that would be $60 a
Well,
day.
and you're paying him the 8-hour day anyways.
Right, but you're paying,
With
so that'd be
benefits.
$60 a day times 5 days. That puts $300 of labor back into our budget
Mm.
each week during the school year. Again, as Camille and I talk, it's gonna be a board and an attorney question of, my fear is the attorney is gonna say, absolutely not, do not take the liability, you're crazy, anything that happens there, you're gonna get
Oh,
sued.
if he gets his back car or something.
Right, well, if Rob gets hit or a kid gets hit, we're gonna get sued.
Right.
Now, maybe the board will say, we understand that, the kids are more important, we're gonna do it. That's what the school district's doing. I mean, the school district, if a kid gets hit at one of those 3 locations, they're getting sued. So, that's above my pay grade, but the board can deal with that. But we've looked into it, and I think currently we're waiting to hear back from Lisa, correct?
Yes.
Right, so Camilla will report to the full board as to what the options are,
Mhm.
and then through the attorney,
Yeah,
what,
what's our best? I mean, we have to, make traffic aware that there's children crossing. You know what I
And
mean?
then you also spoke to Drew Urban.
Yes,
No
spoke
turn on
to Drew Urban today, who's the administrator, and remember I talked about it at the meeting, when you're coming out of Target and you're taking a right down 176 towards school, there should be a do not turn on red, especially, for the children crossing. And he said he reached out to IDOT, and now they're gonna wait, but, I talked to Dan earlier, and I think I'm gonna try and contact Bob Morgan's office on Monday, just to be like, school starting soon, can we at least get some things in place so that the kids could be safe?
right, three of you guys, or 3 of you up there have kids that are still bicycle age. And I would ask all of you with kids, would you be more or less likely to tell your child to ride their bike to school if there was a physical crossing guard by the target to help them across the bike path, considering the other 2 locations have crossing guards? So
Yeah, I think the answer to that is absolutely.
yeah, I mean, my kids are older obviously,
Right.
but I would never let my kid go if there wasn't somebody to help them cross. If there was a
Well, I mean,
legitimate
especially
crossing guard
us,
there,
we're on
I
the
would
west
feel
side of
very
Oregon.
comfortable letting my
Yeah,
kid
that's
cross with a crossing.
a whole different issue, I cannot believe that there's only on Foster your children can cross safely, like,
Kind of people
or
fly
you're
down
playing,
Waukegan
or you're
Road.
playing Frogger,
Yeah,
like,
basically.
it's insane.
The west side's still a problem, but at least that'll
So
solve things up.
Right,
It'll-
none of these solutions are
None of it's great.
100%, and there will be people that will be upset with that,
Just
but.
gotta start
But
somewhere.
it's progress.
Yeah.
So the current plan, just so I think everyone understands, is the supervisor is going to direct the Rob at the road district to cross kids
No.
safely.
Well,
They're
we're
gonna start
not
with the
yet.
signs.
No, we
Right,
gotta
ability.
find
It's gotta
out,
be
A,
up to
if
the-
we can put the signs up, B, if the school district will back and get involved in it, and then the board needs to talk to your attorney.
Yeah, it's up to the board and the attorneys.
and if they
So right
don't,
now, it's just in talks. So
Yes.
right,
But
but,
school starts in 2 weeks.
right, but at least, we need to get some kind of lights or something to
Doesn't
make
it
that.
start-
I can provide you
Yeah,
with the
one week.
light and the signage. Again, you have to talk to, Lake Bluff and ask them if we, the township, could go out
At
and
least
put
them up
that
in the
sign
morning.
Even
Right.
if
into
it's
the
not
road.
reimbursed, do we plan as a township in the interim to put a crossing guard there?
It's up to the board. It's not up to us.
Yeah,
Would we recommend?
We would recommend, I think so. I mean, for a cost of, you said $60 a day? I don't think that's an astronomical.
it'd really be 2 hours, what do we talk about, like
Hour in the morning,
7:15
yes.
to 8:15, and then, what was,
Coming back
like 3 to,
3:45
Yeah.
or something.
Mhm.
It's like an hour in the morning, hour.
Yeah.
Does that put Rob on any overtime?
No.
Alright, so,
What responsibility, as far as classes to be the crossing guard, do you have to, I know that like the, you know, to be a community service officer, you have to have so much training and not, and.
We spoke with Andy Garcia
Yeah.
from, the school district, and, he does the training for his guys, and he
Oh,
said,
so it's in-house.
yes, he
Yeah.
said we
Oh,
could,
great.
that they would,
it'd be
they
about,
would assist in
yeah.
that.
They said it'd be like, like an hour or
Yeah,
something,
hour or
just
two one
general-
morning to just go
yeah.
through.
Oh, great.
Right, the first thing, if we could pull it off, would be to at least get the sign put out with a flashing red and blue light like they use, just to let traffic people know that there is a crossing there
yeah.
that kids may be coming across. That's the only way to get
So
across.
Dan, when
Yes, sir.
Rob has a sick day,
It'd be me.
are you gonna go out there?
I'm gonna have to. They said when they run short on people, that's the other thing to discuss, that Lake Bluff Police fill in. If the school
Well, the
district
sheriff's
runs
office
out
is
of
not
people.
gonna offer that.
No.
Well, they should, it's their road. It's not a county road, it's a state highway that Lake Bluff patrols. So it's no different than Green Bay and 176.
Lake Bluff should do it, cause that's Lake Bluff.
It is Lake Bluff, that's Lake Bluff right there, that's not unincorporated, that is
No,
Lake
it's
Bluff.
Yeah, one,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, that is Lake
Oh,
Bluff.
that's right.
So I mean, they should,
But the question is, if
Could
something
we-
happened
could we
and we needed
reach
to
out
put
to
somebody out
Chief,
there, yes.
Smitzinski, and ask if we could have the same, courtesy that.
Our
the
children
school
and, yes.
District gets currently with the.
I mean, they,
process.
like you just said, they patrol Target and all that.
yeah, it's their jurisdiction right there.
No, our sanctuary, see them all the time.
I think they do it out of courtesy, they don't have to, so I think that's something we should reach out to, probably.
According to Lisa, it's like the backup. If Andy has, hypothetically, two of his guys have the Rona, and they can't come in, and he only has two guys, and there's 3 locations, they contact the police department, and they'll put an officer out there for the hour and the hour, provided there's not something crazy that they have to pull off on.
And will any of this be affected by the anticipated, 2026, junction, whatever that may be?
No idea.
Okay.
That's way too early to tell with it. I mean, we haven't even seen the final plan.
Okay.
So.
Alright, so I think, would we have a consensus as a road committee to recommend, to the board about one, having our employee be a crossing guard?
If
I
we
think
first,
you have to explore the options.
Right. But the recommendation would be to have one.
If possible.
If possible.
I think how many more young families are gonna be moving in, how many more kids are, you know what I mean?
it's a subject that the school district needs to address.
Yeah.
All we're doing is being good neighbors and saying, we can help, but you guys, the school district, need to address this.
Yeah, they
This is a
absolutely-
crossing.
Yeah.
This is not our problem. This is the school district. We brought it to their attention and said this needs to be addressed. And Camilla, as supervisor, said, we are willing to participate and help if we can, but we would need the compensation to
Right.
put somebody out there, because the school district's paying the other 3 employees, why shouldn't they pay for the 4th crossing? And that's not being nasty, that's nothing against the school district, that's just
So
factual.
being equitable.
Yeah.
So, is there anyone that disagrees with that consensus?
I don't know.
So I think we have a unanimous consensus on that issue. Any other discussion on item C?
That's the,
That's C.
Let's see, let's see.
Crossing is,
not on mine, it isn't.
and then D is looking into the options for crack
It's a
sealing the
special-
roads.
Oh,
or something.
well, I don't have that. I must have an earlier copy. Alright,
Alright, so.
so the crack sealing and the,
Crack sealing, everybody knows is just a Band-Aid, right?
so yes and no. There's roads that are still in good condition, and I'll take you back to, 20 years ago. There's still roads here that I cracked sealed when I was highway commissioner, where they went in, they blew out the cracks on good roads, we sealed them, and those crack sealings held. And if there's, we have several roads we would like to try, or we're
I
planning
mean,
to
it
try.
obviously helps, it's just not like, you're not
Right, but if I
gonna
can
gain 15
extend the
years
road
out of it.
5 more years in life, and that's huge for our budget. So.
But I mean, that, like, even on, like we've already said, Birch, that would not work there.
No, birch needs to be cut out,
Cut
the
back.
portion, and I have a company that I'd like to try, they have a process and a machine.
Who is that?
I'll have to get his name out, I have it in front of me, I'm sorry. But they,
Contractors.
they're out of Mundelein, anyhow, they have a machine that does that heats on site, and it makes basically a hot mix repair versus, calling out a full asphalt company. They specialize in patching is what this company does. They don't do roads, they do patching. So again, I'd like to try a couple locations and see how their
What's the,
patches
yeah,
work.
Yeah, just make sure on warranties and.
What's the average cost?
I'm getting all that, Jeff. I'm literally, I got their name from another highway commissioner, this last week, and they've tried them and they're working out well, but I can't tell you, I think this is a good idea until we try one. Same with the crack seal. I would select one road that's in good shape, that has some cracks that are starting to open, and get those cracks sealed, and see what next spring looks like after a winter of salt and freezing and thawing. So it's basically a trial thing. There was a company out there called Bain Crack Sealing, and they're gone. They were here for many years, and they're the ones that did our roads. And they came out and they blew out the cracks, they crack sealed them, and they held really well. I can still take you around and show you some roads in Knoll that were done that long ago.
So the items on the agenda though, to basically look at
I'm looking at the options. When I get
to invest
pricing,
in crack sealing to extend road life.
well, the one patch has to be made. So I'm gonna have them fix that one on Birch that you took the picture of. It has to be fixed. And it doesn't make sense, a Rabine paving is not gonna come out and efficiently make a cut and a patch on a
No,
road
it's not
like
worth
that.
your time.
Yeah, I can't even get other paving companies other than PaveTech to do driveway approaches, which is.
So what about what if there's like, say in the future there's more of the speed humps,
Mhm.
like in the relative near future?
Right, like, yeah.
To then have them go grind that down, do all that, and then add that into the cost of
I can look at that, sure.
that might be just an option instead of having a whole other company come out.
For that particular one, I agree with you, yes. So, yeah, and I'm gonna bring that up, cause there's 3 speed humps that I'd like you guys to consider.
Is there a time of year that crack sealing is most?
Till the ground freezes. Until we get into inclement weather.
When it thaws?
Yeah,
Like-
or when it freezes.
Yeah, what
Freezes it happens or when it thaws? It freezes?
When the cracks will form when when the water in the road freezes.
Right.
Okay.
And then they become apparent when everything thaws.
Okay, so we know where the cracks are.
And obviously like
April,
wash
May.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
So this April or May, we would be doing an assessment?
Well, the crack sealing, I would like to get done yet this year on a road, so I can see what it does over the
For the
winter.
winter.
The only road patch that I'm looking at is the one that we've all been speaking about here, the one on Birch. And if we go ahead with these other 3 speed humps, I would probably have that patch made at the same time, because they'll be out there and they can do it efficiently for us and
Okay.
cost effective.
How much money do we have for this? It's for, just a ballpark, I mean,
I think we've got about 20 grand left in road repairs.
Okay.
Yeah, as I recall. I spoke with Carl earlier and I don't have the exact number.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so then,
Any other discussion, on looking into options for crack sealings on roads except left lately?
Nope.
I think we obviously we're looking at like half a block that we're paid for next year, and the roads are starting to fall.
Right.
We're kind of getting to almost a desperate situation.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Anything to extend life is probably
Yeah.
a good idea.
Right, the crack ceiling, I'm telling you, it's gonna work, because we did it in the past and it worked.
So are you saying we haven't done it
An extended period.
Not since I was
okay.
in office before.
Alright,
So then, any old business?
yes, so, it looks like we have an update on
An update on the bike path
information and grant funding.
So, as quick as I can make the bike path, there's a $250,000 Safe Roads to School Act grant that we're working on right now. And Camilla and I had our first meeting with Lake Bluff School District. We're gonna meet with Matt Montgomery from Lake Forest High School District. By 1/10 of a mile, we fall within the radius to add that school into this grant. The more schools, the more kids, the better your shot is at getting the grant. Then from there, we're gonna talk to Lake Bluff Park District because it helps the Park District kids. And this would be phase 1 of the bike path, meaning from Jenkinson over. So again, we're just in early stage. We've had one meeting, Camilla and I have to have at least 2 or 3 more. And then if we get buy-in from everybody, I have a couple options for private partnership that we're gonna try to extend. I don't wanna say who and what and where and then not come through for you guys. So I'm looking at some private partnerships.
Lake Forest, Waukegan Road is probably.
Would this be blacktop, not gravel?
So it would be originally set up, Chris, like the Forest Preserve bike paths in that cinder gravel.
Okay.
And my personal opinion would be to put the bike path in, put it in cinder and gravel for a year or 2. And again, if we don't have huge potholes and we wanna come back and pave it then, I think it's worth it, but I would hate to pave it and then it be into pavement repair. So I'd like to see it stay in gravel, rideable gravel,
Get some compaction.
handicapped accessible gravel, for at least a year or 2 to make sure that, that it works. So again, we're really
Our
early
end
stages on it.
game would be to connect to the sanctuary on
Yes.
the west side of
Yes,
Norwood.
it's a multiple year deal, but it can't start till it starts.
Right.
So this is.
Just getting the ball rolling.
Pardon?
It's just getting the ball rolling.
Yep. that's
Just so
what we're
everyone.
doing. Lake Bluff School District told us right on the spot, they'll write a letter, they're 100% in favor of it, and we asked them that, we're gonna be asking them for some funding too. I mean, everybody has to put some skin in the game.
So just so everyone knows, I think what we looked at before was a 3-phase thing. Is when somebody sticks to Jenkinson, and then it's a sanctuary to that point.
To foster, and then the last step would be to go under.
And then
Figure out a way to connect.
also, I think.
We'll go on to
this.
this, and again, the, as you see in that report, the railroad has no issues with going under. It doesn't, they pick up 0 liability going under their
But
tracks.
I think we do have to address too, be relevant to the bike path and how to make crossing from the west side to the east side as best we can on Foster. For sure we have a light, but also in the southwest quadrant, how do we get everyone in that neighborhood to that light?
So the way to do it, Jeff, is about $1.5 million question. And there's a warrant that exists to put a light by McDonald's. That's how you would get them across.
Is that warrant still valid?
Yes, it's an IDOT warrant, it was approved, but you don't have the money, A, for the light, and then somebody has to pay the maintenance of the light, because IDOT won't. So, yeah,
Did they tell you how much it was?
well, 20 years ago, it was $1 million. I mean, it's
And that's on the township side, not IDA.
it's on Waukegan Road,
Right. that's what I'm
Waukegan and Woodland,
The $1 million investment.
saying. Yeah,
yeah,
Oh, ooh.
right, we talked to McDonald's at the time, and they're like, yeah, we don't really,
but IDA wouldn't pick that up because they
No.
don't have money.
they're not gonna pay for another light. They don't wanna pay for the light at Foster, we spoke about that as well, and the school district said, well, we don't know if, if we stop paying for it, will they take the light out?
Yeah.
I would find it hard to believe that IDOT is gonna pull out a traffic light that's been there crossing kids
Probably
for the
more
last,
expensive.
for the last 30 years because of the yearly cost of maintaining that light that's already in that would be, and I mean, I think Morgan, I think Morrison, I think everybody would jump in and say, everybody hold the phone. We're not taking out a light that safely travels kids across. But the other quadrant is a problem. And the only way to safely do it now is to tell the kids on West North Avenue to ride through the neighborhood, cross over at the railroad tracks by the gas station, go over to the light, cross over, and then come back that way. That's the only way to do it right now.
Can you repeat phase one?
Yes, phase one is 176 to Jenkinson Avenue.
Okay, phase two?
Phase two is Foster Avenue to Atkinson Road.
Okay. And phase three is going under the tracks?
Yes.
Got it, thank you.
And at the same time, John, you don't connect the sides.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, that's not tied into the bike path.
Right,
though.
no, I know.
That's a whole separate
But that would
thing.
be the idea of having, I think, when we looked at the grant funding, more participants in the bike path was connecting the west side to the east side. So, cause then we'll be able to connect the North Shore bike path there. I think.
Well, and again, you're gonna get resistance from somebody saying you're putting another light on Waukegan Road.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
I believe it.
remember, anything you do, there's somebody that's not gonna like it.
Mhm.
Somebody's gonna come out and tell you the bike path's a bad idea, so.
Any other question, any other discussion of updates of the bike path information grant?
No. And then we'll move to general road issues and future recommendations.
I have two. One, I'd like to put a speed hump on North Avenue west of Waukegan Road by the Starbucks to continue to deter people from going through the do not enter sign and going down North Avenue.
To the shortcut to Waukegan.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one spot. Birch Avenue, about by just north of Burris Avenue, to slow down the traffic coming out of phase two of the sanctuary. That stretch of Birch, the stop signs are basically non-existent, and that'll help to slow traffic. And on Talbot Road.
Okay, so I'd like to dive into some of that. Community person Pappas, I like your perspective. I mean, North Avenue and west of Waukegan Road, you own multiple properties. over
Yes.
there. What do you think about that one?
Well, at the moment, we have discussed about having that there, but you know, with all the signs and everything, and there are people that go up and down, they kind of go kind of fast, and there's the corner cutter from Adelphia up and down there, and you know, nobody really pays attention to those do not turn right stuff, and yeah.
Level up stop signs.
Yeah, forget about that.
Yeah, the do not enter signs, they just right through that. When they come out of Starbucks, they make that right turn, and I'd like them to,
Yeah.
I would like them to have to navigate a speed hump.
Are you thinking speed hump before Adelphia or?
Yes.
Okay. So east
So
of Adelphia
I think
on north?
I mean, and this is just my opinion. I think it does two things. One, I think it deters the cut-throughs.
Right, that's what I'm trying to do.
So would we,
With your
do you
coffee.
want it as close to commercial property by Starbucks as possible, or do you want to go halfway in between Green and?
No, because what they're doing, Jeff, is they come out of Starbucks and they make a quick
if they
right
see
and
it,
then
they
they make
turn
a
on
quick
Adelphia.
left on Adelphia, and they get out to
They're out.
176.
So you
So-
think if they see it right there, it's going to stop them?
I'm hoping.
From even going that way.
I'm hoping.
Do not enter.
People
plus
like
the speed
humps
hump.
at all times.
That one, that one could
I mean, at a
potentially be a
minimum, it's
little.
gonna slow people down.
Correct.
Yeah,
It'd
no,
be
I
like after the first house?
No,
Yeah,
it would be right by,
Rizzo.
Rizzo, and I would work with him on exact positioning as to, you know,
Is he like the second house or?
no, he's the first house.
Oh, okay, that's right,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we've done in general when we put in speed humps. We've talked to people, as we did on your street, you know, before you were on the board, you and I met with Jeff and we talked about the location to make it navigatable for you backing out of your driveway and doing what it was supposed to do without hindering the residents.
And Chris, this wouldn't have any negative impact on your business, or, I mean, you.
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Well, with the, I mean,
Speed hump west of, would you be comfortable with that?
I mean, it depends on the placement, you know, and I would.
It'd be
wanna
by
discuss-
Rizzo's yard there, just before
Yeah, I know what you're
Adelphia.
talking
So it'd be like
Again,
to the
you're
west.
welcome to come out and, you know, the exact location is moot
Right.
to me. So the exact location can be determined by you, me, Rizzo, we can all meet out there and mark it.
Yeah,
I just like to deter people from going that way, and if they do go that way, make them navigate over a speed hump.
So
right.
you're thinking like
Obviously,
just west of that back entrance to Walgreens?
yeah, it has to be
Yes.
west of commercial. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be west of that, but, okay.
Right.
So, technically it would really, it should only impact people that are legally going east on north to Waukegan Road. I mean, obviously
Yes.
it'll deter people from going illegally west.
Right, but people coming from your home,
Mhm.
by the time they get to that speed hump, they're slowing down for the stop sign anyhow. I mean, it isn't,
Maybe not that
you know, it
deep.
isn't like, you know,
But, I mean, I think, I support it in the deterrence of.
yeah, I mean, if
Yeah,
you're,
just
if
cut
you're
through.
100% against it, then I'll just,
Yeah, I mean, if we all go out there and look at it and discuss it,
Okay.
instead of just saying, okay,
yeah, no, well, on all three of these that I'm talking about, I meet with the residents that they're right on the property
And
and
then
talk to
trustee Prager brought up, sending out letters last time. Where would we?
It's a good question. You're not really affecting anybody other than Rizzo as far as residential.
That's really the only person that would be impacted because everybody else could go down on Adelphia.
Correct. And I can speak for him and tell you that he's for it. You know,
Right, I know, he wants as much traffic deterred
Right.
going westbound as possible, so. But
Yeah.
that still leads to the question, would you, like on this particular situation?
No, I think that's more of a commercial issue and so forth.
Okay.
But as I'm trying to think that geographically through, that would still be west of the entrance into Walgreens, right? So people would just take a right,
It would be,
they would take a right and go right through Walgreens, so now Walgreens is getting
well,
traffic.
Walgreens gets that anyhow.
Do that.
And we can't stop anybody from crossing private property. Only private property can stop that.
Technically, Walgreens could put up a gate if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could put up a gate, they could put in speed humps.
Yeah, they
In
could
their
put a
own
speed hump
personal
right
property.
there. They
Yeah.
could put anything
It's
that's
it's
right
their
there.
private property.
Yeah, it's gonna make that worse, obviously. Don't you think?
I don't know that it's gonna make it,
So,
I don't know that it's gonna make it any
drive-through.
worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you would make the right turn and the left turn on Adelphia to get around the Walgreens lot as a driver, to not have to navigate through a parking lot, because it's a lot easier to make right, quick left, and you're out to 176.
Yes, I follow you.
Honestly, if it were, I don't go to Starbucks, because unless my wife's in the car and she forces me to. So I don't go to Starbucks, and I would, out of respect for other commercial properties, unless I'm going to Walgreens, I wouldn't cut through their lot,
No.
just out of respect, but I think I'm,
It's all,
The
it's also
exception and
illegal.
not the
It is
rule.
illegal.
It's illegal as
Yeah,
well.
to avoid an intersection.
right, it's
so-
illegal to avoid an intersection for a traffic
No,
control
I'm
device.
for that, that's fine, I'm not gonna get in the way of that one,
Yeah.
the one on Talbot, which I think, on Birch, Birch, that would be, that's, the sanctuary uses that as an Indianapolis 500,
Yeah.
but
Yes, they do.
the only issue is that one would be one that we would actually ask the people.
Well, and let's move on to that, but real quick, on a consensus form,
Why don't I meet with
Person
Chris
Adams,
and
did
see if
you
he's
wanna,
good?
you wanna meet with
yeah,
Dan,
yeah,
and then,
before any.
and then after that, you can give your recommendation to the
Well, we're
supervisor,
gonna-
but the rest of it.
We could bring it
Yeah, I
to
would,
the
I would
board.
say, I would say the committee should recommend it based on a site meeting with committee member Pappas.
I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
I think that is
Is that
fair.
good with you?
Yeah.
Alright, and then, Clerk Rum, if you could put that in the minutes for us, please.
Yep.
Alright, and then, great, alright, thank you.
Are you familiar with
So we could talk
Fred
about
Day's
Birch
house?
now.
Do you know where Fred lives?
No, I'm sorry.
Corner of Burris and Birch.
Okay,
It's a two-story house with a fenced-in yard.
okay.
I'd like to put one right about there, and I've already spoken to him, and he's in favor of having one there as well, so it wouldn't impact, he thinks it'd have a positive impact on his house, and that's kinda halfway to slow him up. And when you see it because you live there, but I can tell everybody else, if you go there and park on any of those side streets, those stop signs are non-existent. I mean, if I could get a county squad out there, he could literally sit there and he wouldn't even get the car and park. There is no one that stops at those stop signs.
On Birch.
No one. And I mean, they get going well over 35, 40 miles an hour.
Do you think he would like write a letter, come in and say something for a public comment or?
I can get him to write a letter for sure that he would support
And
one.
he's a
Okay.
former chief of.
Yeah, he's former chief of police.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
now I know who you're talking about. I'm
Okay.
sorry, yeah.
I can ask him in the next day or so if he just write a note saying that he would be supportive.
Yeah, that's
If-
okay.
if-
But also, like, where does it stop when you're asking the people who support it or not? Because
Well,
there's
if-
a lot of kids in the neighborhoods,
But it's for the one. yeah.
and they ride their bikes everywhere.
Right, well, you and I are on the same page on this. I mean, that is probably, I'm gonna say, an error in putting up speed humps. That should have probably been one of the first ones, because I think it's one of the worst. Yeah, ironically, the biggest detractor from the speed humps, the guy that really raised all kinds of hell with the township and everybody else, he moved. So after all of him walking around and handing out flyers and telling everybody how bad they were, he was so committed to know what he moved.
Nice.
So he's not even there anymore.
So,
Good riddance.
all right, so I think on Birch, again, just so we're all transparent,
I would say you go ahead with that one.
right.
Right,
to
I'll
be-
get a
I guess the
letter
question-
from- I'll
the
get a letter
question
from
that
Fred
I'd ask-
Day
I'd like to
Yeah.
ask
saying that he supports it.
Trustee Prager real quick, I'm fine either way, but I think it's a great way to be transparent. Do we send letters to everyone on Birch?
I think it's a bad idea.
If you send them to Birch, you have to send them to everybody in the neighborhood who uses the road.
So
Right.
the sanctuary as well.
Everybody. So no, I would say,
The only letter I would consider even thinking about would be a notification of it being done,
Okay.
not an opinion letter.
Slow down by Burris because.
or you're gonna go airborne.
Yes.
Well, the big yellow signs that say speed hump and the big
Those are
bump in the
pretty good
road with the
indicators.
yellow stripes on it.
Pretty good
Not if
indicator
you're
of what's
texting and
coming.
driving.
That's true.
It is funny seeing
So-
people hit
I'd
those.
like to get your perspective on that though as well, just to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, you know, I don't wanna necessarily rain on the parade, but I think the only thing that I totally am I believe I'm tracking with you on the emotional impact of these, because we just don't have any way of patrolling or having police here or
Right,
whatever.
and
No,
the,
no.
stop, and the stop signs are
And
obsolete.
it's annoying, I mean, I've been living in that neighborhood for 32 years, and I think the sanctuary just abuses that to no end. But
Maybe it would stop them from going down.
To be honest with you, Chris, I obviously live on Atkinson and Delphia. I would honestly support closing Birch Avenue off as a dead end there and forcing everybody up Atkinson. Because that was never supposed to be that way.
I think
When
that
that
would be very
development,
Yeah,
no, but I'm telling you, when that
That's a lot of
development,
letters, Stan.
when that development was built, that was supposed to be an internal connection from phase 1 to phase 2. And that was scrapped by the county, because that was originally in the county. And they brought it out and shoved the traffic through Norwood. So I don't think that traffic, I think that traffic should all go up Atkinson, and Jeff and I have talked about it before too. Yes, would you catch a lot of flack? Yeah, but it is within the township board's jurisdiction. Those are your roads on Birch Avenue. If you wanted to close it, there's nothing anybody can do. But I know, but I'm just saying.
The only thing that, and I'm just reiterating what we said in another meeting, but the only thing is that I feel like a lot of times the folks that have aired not liking them, which they just feel like it's getting forced on them.
Right.
And it would be nice to be able to figure out a way to do that. Like we had talked about before, if we send a letter, no response is considered a yes. But if you have to do it to all the sanctuary or whatever,
I think it would be, literally everybody who
You could
Yeah,
also, at the same time, you could also.
I'm just asking, why do we have to do it to everybody? I'm just asking. I don't know if that.
We don't.
We
I'm
could
just
do
saying,
it.
why, because then what if they come in and they're like, well, why didn't we get an opinion?
Well, yeah, right. and
Well,
they are-
because it's-
Well, you could also say that
Township
you,
as well.
if, like, we are giving, as a committee and you guys as a board, you give public comment every meeting and you post your agenda well in advance, that if the public wants a say in this, they can come.
Come to the meeting.
Yeah.
And based on our audience here
What's
today,
your opinion?
I don't think there's clearly not a real public interest.
And I
It may
agree,
just
I
be-
agree with you, Dan, and you know the other thing
Few
too,
people.
that if 10 people came in from phase 2 of the sanctuary and said, we don't want a speed hump, well, why? Well, we don't like them. Well, because you have to slow down.
Right, and
That's the reason for not liking,
the other
that
thing
speed hump.
with letters and stuff like that is they're not hearing the conversations that we're currently hearing unless they're watching the video.
Yes.
And not getting the full picture and actually seeing the fact that we have thought about these things.
Yeah.
And the committee here is basically saying, we think public safety comes above
correct.
your
Whether
having
it's a
to slow
nuisance or
down
not.
for 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although,
So-
yeah, I believe, Dan, you're onto something there. I think maybe that's something that we should, with the town, with the Shields thing, is make it very clear that these are being discussed. And if we make that public, obviously then people have, you know, less, you know, ground to stand on if they say, well, I didn't know anything about this. Well, you weren't following what we've been
Right,
talking
the
about.
meetings
You
are
made
all,
a
the
notice-
meetings are
Also
public,
with
the notifications
These
are
are
public.
So if we.
Like, everything's out there, it's just a matter of taking the time
But
and
even-
caring enough to go and look.
Cost of them though,
They're very
you
inexpensive.
don't need approval really.
No, so, and I'll say
No, but
this, so-
I'm bringing them to you guys.
Yeah, it
Right.
comes,
I'm all for them.
Right, but I mean,
Obviously.
something like a speed hump, the 3 that I'm recommending,
so I would
I
say,
would feel like I was not being fair
before
to
we
all
move
of
on
you
to
guys
Talbot, I
to
think we
just put them in.
I think we
And then
discussed
you
a
say, well,
good
why didn't
plan.
you at least mention them at the meeting?
I think we just discussed a good plan on North. Again, so on all speed humps, just so everyone knows, on any projects under $30,000, the supervisor has the discretion to do it with or without committee, with or without board approval. However, the whole point of this process is to make sure that us,
There's
representatives
transparency.
Yeah,
of the community would support it or have a voice against it. So, with Birch Avenue, I would motion on a consensus recommendation to install on Birch. And then,
And I'll obtain a letter of support from the property owner.
yeah, and then
That's
if
gonna go
anyone, but
to have.
I would ask that you have a meeting tomorrow, maybe in your supervisor report,
Well, right, yeah.
mention the things we discussed.
Well, about our,
here
yeah,
this
meeting
evening.
and, yeah. Mhm.
And it gives people time to call the office if there is a large thing or something.
Or
we're
come to the
missing.
meeting tomorrow
or come to a
night.
meeting, yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you don't hear it, then I think it would make sense
Move
for,
forward.
to move forward.
I
So-
agree.
Now, the only other question would be, and again, I'm not trying to put a kink in this, but we said that we have $20,000 left, and it's about 4,000 to put a speed hump in?
Two.
Oh, it's 2.
Right,
Okay,
that
oh,
includes
then that's not
signage,
so
and
much.
that includes signage and everything.
Oh, okay.
That's
I thought it was
installation of
4,000.
signage.
We got room for 10 more.
We have more.
Well, and let me jump in on that, Trustee Prager. Road repair and speed humps are two separate line items on the budget.
Oh, they
So
are?
we did budget those separately,
Okay.
last
What they are
year.
budgeted for.
So they are budgeted for, and you are under budget on speed humps. So we did that for this exact reason. So that
So it
they-
doesn't have to take out of the budget to actually
So
maintain.
the argument wouldn't be, hey, I have a huge pothole.
Right, you put in a speed
Yeah,
hump
and
instead
now
of
I
fixing
can't
the
fix
speed
it.
hump.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Okay,
we
well, that's great.
separated those on the budget on purpose.
I think that's great knowledge for me, because
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get asked.
Yeah. so
And then
that's-
the last speed hump that I'd like to do is
So
on
before we move
Oh,
on.
sorry,
thank
no,
you.
you did.
Real quick, so, just so Clerk Rum has this on the record,
Thank you.
I would recommend a speed hump on Birch where Mr. Rogers has recommended. Does anyone have, any, opposition to that on the committee currently? Okay, and then we did note that Supervisor Urso will mention this in her.
Right, the last one's on Talbot, about where the drainage area is there on by Green Avenue, just to split up Talbot from Waukegan Road to Adelphia. That as well, I've had residents along there
So,
ask me.
and let me piggyback off that, Burris and Safford currently do have speed humps, and that was, designed, again, for sanctuary mostly, and people going to the back of the neighborhood to, again, deter people cutting through and speeding through the neighborhood. Talbot wasn't done at the time, and we're on Muir, obviously Muir has 2 speed humps around the park. West of here, there's 3 streets between us and Atkinson. Burris, Safford, and Talbot. Both Burris and Safford have one speed hump each, so I think part of the phase over the years was to now give Talbot.
So then finish it.
Yeah, that makes sense to make sure that it's not turning Talbot into a highway
Right.
to avoid the other.
Correct.
So we don't keep
Yeah.
pushing
Correct.
traffic to
Who's
someone
the lady
else's
that
street.
bought Nancy's house? She's like begging for it.
Yeah, so there's been
Right.
multiple people that have asked for it
Yeah.
on Talbot. Talbot is one of those streets though, I would recommend, and I agree with trustee Prager on this one, that is a street because it's not highly used, and I think it would be a good way to kind of see where we are with that strategy, is maybe we should mail, a notice, on Talbot, and when is our timeline on speed humps? So let me ask you that.
Again, I've got through the fall.
Yeah, the planes close like Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks.
okay, so we got a little
But
bit of time.
the only thing you're gonna, and that's fine, if you wanna do that.
But we
But
talked about
everybody-
no response is a yes vote, so.
But everybody's gonna ask,
51%.
where's it gonna go?
So,
That's
so
just
let's
something-
put,
So
let's
I'll-
put where it's
you
gonna go.
Okay, so I'm just saying, if you're gonna send out a letter,
Yeah.
say that, we'll
If it's the
we'll
800
provide a
block of
little
Talbot.
map, we'll provide a little map with the location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
800 block of Talbot is the 800 block of Talbot.
Right.
So the only other thing, Dan, to
Yep.
your experience and everything like that, Talbot has that incredible runoff and water problem. Would we be hurting ourselves with anything with that?
No, Talbot actually drains down pretty quickly, that is piped. What the county did with that Green Avenue is what has made the problem worse, and we still are waiting to hear if they're done with that. By digging that out, they really made the water situation worse and not better. So yeah, no, we wouldn't have an issue with water on that. Water, recedes pretty quickly on Talbot.
Yeah, because that's pretty level, so it's not really draining, it's be going more about it.
Right, and it's piped, and once we get it down to 43, it moves along.
But I know
41.
I know the folks, just going a little closer to Waukegan from
Yes.
there, their basements are the retention pond up
Right.
until that was done.
Right.
So my only concern is that we don't do something in the road that backs up at the flow and somehow.
no.
And I'm asking because I.
Yeah, no, it won't. That's a good question, and the answer is no.
It won't, okay,
No.
that's the only thing I wanted to make sure, because I don't wanna have that
So-
insult happening here.
So as this is a work in progress with transparency, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys are about it, I don't wanna open up a can of worms with it, but I think we should maybe try, if you guys wanna try. On this one, I think this one is one of those that's not as highly used, it's more to protect the people of Talbot, is the reason why we're putting it in.
Right.
Is because right now, because there's speed humps on the other roads, we are pushing traffic to Talbot, so if Talbot residents, 51% of them came in and opposed it, fine, but
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
I think it's one of those things where if they, in my opinion, if they would like to oppose that, they should come to a meeting and oppose it in person.
okay.
Yeah, maybe Dan's point, although I appreciate your sentiments, I think maybe what we do is we stay consistent. Because what Mike was
Because then it's
saying.
like, why didn't you
Mike
notify
was
us
saying, yeah.
before,
Why
why
would
didn't
you
we
do
even
that?
say?
Because Mike was saying, and you didn't
Yeah,
tell
I
me in
guess.
sanctuary, you didn't tell me here, but
Well,
you
yeah,
gave us a letter.
the past
Yeah.
ones, why didn't we have a say?
Yeah, I get
So
that.
I think maybe, I really love the idea, but I think you're right, out of consistency.
I think it just stirs the pot.
But yeah, so what we do is we just make it very clear, hey, we're thinking about doing this is gonna happen. And so if Camilla brings that up in the meeting and
Yeah.
whatever, then it's kinda on you if you didn't follow it.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree,
Then,
okay.
then the last item that I got is really a policy thing that I do.
Real
need-
quick, just real quick before we jump to that, is there any other, now's the time, I think, on any other speed hump issues, because when we do bring out Pave Tech or whomever the township uses, the cost is because we do them so cheap because we do them all at once. Is there any other ones for the season that any other committee person wants to bring forward or discuss or think about for next season? Now would be the time. Joe?
Dan, have you considered a speed hump on West Blodgett, east of Birch, before you get to Basil?
Yeah, where they come out from the apartment complex.
Flying.
Yeah, so they come up and they either go one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah, I think both those roads are good spots. both on Blodgett and actually on Woodland. I've had Dave
I think-
Fontana
I think both.
made comments to me multiple times that he'd like something
Yeah,
in
because
there.
to your point, people come flying out of the apartments down Basil and then just pick which way they're gonna go.
Well, I think we've addressed
You-
Basil
you-
pretty
you-
well.
you
I
have
do
a-
think the blind spot is the big issue.
Yeah, you have a 100% supporter on speed humps
And
in
then
spots
Dan,
like that, so.
if I'm not wrong, that's where Northern Avenue is, so that's where the bike path would go.
Right.
So that could be possibly a high traffic area for children. So, and again, both those, as much as I like Dave, I do not like how high his bushes are. And I can't see when I'm making that turn. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
so
anyone else has that
so you're
problem.
saying you come down Basil, you go either way, and right as you straighten out, kind of right
Yeah,
there.
slow down before you're taking that turn,
Yes.
one way or the other.
Correct.
Right, and again, I'm happy to meet with you and get a little more precise on the location.
Yeah,
But yes,
'cause
I think those are good locations.
in transparency, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law live there with
Mhm.
5 little kids. And I've been there and just seen people flying around.
Yeah, Basil's a
Yeah.
bad road
They don't even
because it's
slow
an
down.
apartment
Yeah.
complex down there.
But Basil has 2 speed humps just,
Right, so
Yes.
now they've navigated the 2 speed humps,
right,
time to put her in gear and go.
Yeah,
right.
And that's what they do. So, yeah, I don't wanna overdo it, but I don't think it's overdoing it there, Dan. I think you're correct.
yeah, I think those are the only 2 where I've had any kind of public sentiment saying,
I've had it
Hey,
on both
people are
sides, on
flying.
both Blodgett and
Yeah.
on Woodland. I've had both people.
Yeah.
Again, they don't care for the apartments, the people that have invested their homes there. And
No,
they wanna slow
I
down.
would disagree
So,
with that. I think people that, live in those apartments are taxpaying people that, and I wouldn't say that they are the 100% cause of the traffic. I would
Well,
say that
they're not
homeowners are.
property taxpayers.
No, but also homeowners are
And they're,
Are-
and
are-
it's,
use
it's just,
speed
it's
limits.
just creating an unsafe environment,
So, but
especially.
my point is, I wouldn't blame it on the apartment
Correct,
complex. I think it's just a thing on Basil, and I would include both the houses and the apartments.
What if you put one to turn left out of Basil and to turn right out of Basil?
That's
Well, that's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
As soon as,
Yeah.
as soon as you
Oh,
come out of
that'd be perfect.
Basil,
Yeah.
as soon as you come out of Basil, one on Blodgett,
Get them for both.
one on.
Yeah,
Correct.
and the only reason
one
I
on-
would recommend doing it
Wait, what are the two
if,
streets
with the
then?
other 3.
Woodland and Blodgett.
Okay, thank you.
It would
You
just
wanna
be,
meet me out there? We'll look at them. I'll give you a shout sometime.
yeah, it would
Yeah,
just be a
that's fine.
way to,
Wait,
again,
would Talbot just get one speed
Yes,
bump?
right now, it would be
yeah, right now, I
between.
think next year,
There-
and this would be it as far as.
Would it be towards Waukegan or?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it would line
the
up
east
with
end
the
of
other two.
Talbot, there's only two homes there.
Yeah,
That's all our vacant property, and then you have,
the house in the
The
corner,
one by me
Right,
is
there are
on the
3
900
homes.
block,
yeah.
and then so is Safford is on the 900 block. So Dan, the
So
one
what
at
did you
Talbot,
say, Talbot 900 block?
Talbot would be, again, just so it lines up with
Yes.
Safford and Burris, it
Yes.
would be, east of
Yes.
me. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
so they would they would line.
So that each of them are in relatively the same position.
Yeah,
on
You-
the
the
you know
side.
what
only difference though,
Or
just
you
so
can say
everyone
something.
knows, the distance between Waukegan and, Road
Is larger.
and
Short,
Burris is shorter,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah, but
larger
I'm
than
saying
Talbot,
shorter
Saying
and
it's
larger
larger,
than
it's
Talbot.
larger.
So why don't we, for the committee, Jeff, why don't, between you and me and Dan, we'll go out and we'll paint them marks on the road where they would go. We'll notify everybody, you guys can make a quick spin through, take a look at them, I'll meet with you on the North Avenue one.
And I would just ask the committee members if you guys, all 5 of us are in Norwood.
Mhm.
So if anybody has any opposition that they hear, and I'm not talking one person,
Right,
I'm saying if there's a large opposition, let's give it due time before the supervisor executes this. I mean, we're not calling this in next week, right?
right.
So we have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that, again, there's gonna be, like you said, a couple people are gonna be against it. So just because Mr. Johnson is against it and, but that doesn't mean it's.
Yeah, I think on North Avenue, if Chris is good with it, I don't think anybody, because nobody else is gonna really be affected by
Well,
that.
and Chris has a young niece and 2 young nephews, so I mean, they
Right.
ride their bikes and,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
I mean, that's.
And Birch, again, the only complaint would come out of the sanctuary, will the one on Talbot.
But Atkinson Road is designed for the sanctuary traffic.
Yeah,
And they do have a traffic light to
That's the only way I go out is by that light. I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even go down Talbot. I'd just be scared to death to pull out from
I
Talbot.
see when you're going northbound, the cut through, southbound, I think it's.
Yeah, it's taking your life in your own hands.
Yeah, because you're going to a light anyways, but on northbound, you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna cut through, whatever. But I think this does
Okay,
deter traffic.
sounds good.
Again, not to shove these down communities' throats, but I think these have been beneficial. We don't have Lake County Sheriff, Lake County Sheriff is stretched thin like every other government entity in Illinois. And honestly, I want our men and women in law enforcement going after drug dealers and violent criminals and not have to,
So it stops
We're
them.
always on the lookout for a public safety grant, which again, I got one 20 years ago, and I'm always looking around for it. If we happen to get a public safety grant,
Right.
then we'll do a buyback program.
right.
Now, I can tell you that Warren Township Highway Department, who has gobs of money, by the way, they budget in X amount a year for extra patrol.
Yeah, but that is not in our budget.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, they budget into it.
It would be lovely, but
Right.
I know, I'm just saying, that's how they do it because
Right.
they're in
Trying
the
to
same
fill the
situation.
cracks in my street, let alone.
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I hear you, I agree with you, I'm just saying.
So is everyone on this committee comfortable with what we've discussed on these 5 this evening? With the supervisor disclosing them during the supervisor's report and giving it a little bit of time to talk to community members and, unless we see a huge opposition, but in the meantime, this is I'd say a tentative recommendation.
Right, I'd like to do it in September, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Maybe the end of September.
But we give it time so that Carl or Lisette can field multiple calls, and if there is a certain one that gets pounded with 15 calls out of the 30 neighbors,
We'll pull out of it.
then it can come back to committee, come back to,
Well, we just won't do that one.
well, but at least give it back to.
We can hear what the complaints
We
are.
can invite both sides in,
Right.
to a committee and a board at that
And if
point.
it's gonna be done at the end of September, I mean, that might even give us, depending on when the next meeting.
Yeah, it should give us another
It'll-
board meeting.
One more meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one more, yeah.
Okay,
What do we have for budget for, speed humps? How much dollars do we have left?
I believe we have about 12,000 left from when I left. So I
We
think,
didn't put up any, right?
what's that?
We didn't put up any since,
With going into your fiscal year?
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Dan, did we do any in the beginning of this year? I think we did a couple in the beginning.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
They searched, so I think
Yeah,
there's
for-
12,000 left. I think we budgeted $20,000 or 25,000.
but remember, these are kind of one-time expenses. I mean, I don't see these, if we.
But there is a line item in the budget.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to.
For 25.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't put one on North Avenue east of Birch, knowing we're gonna repave it.
Well, right.
So none of these are up for immediate, repaving it, we're throwing money away, so.
Yeah, this is just traffic mitigation and safety. I think we found a workaround to help our, public safety officers.
Right. Can I just have one last item, it's something I've been working on with Mike Dunn and Chris. This is actually really important for you for the next meeting. At the last highway commissioners meeting, because of the costs that are out there, and especially with our budget, folks that have a culvert that needs replaced, what the other townships are doing now is they're providing the culvert, and that's where it ends. And Mike and I have looked at, and I give Mike the credit for this, we're gonna shift to a poly culvert versus a metal culvert that rots out. It's as strong or stronger, and it lasts basically forever. But what I'd like the board to do is to pass or vote on an ordinance, vote on whatever the lawyer wants to call it, that going forward, that if Dan calls up and says, hey, I got a hole in my culvert, we say, you know what, Dan, here's how it works, we will provide you a culvert. You will have to get your own person to replace the culvert, we will inspect the culvert for pitch, and you have to repave it. Because it's just simply too expensive for us to continue to bear
Now,
the cost of the labor, the asphalt, and everything to replace the culvert. It is our culvert, and we will replace it, but I would like you
what
to,
if a homeowner says, nah?
then they have a culvert with a hole in it.
Okay,
And
they
if
have
it-
a
and if
culvert
it
with a hole,
becomes
what
too
if the
bad,
water
then it'd
doesn't
be-
flow?
What?
What if the water doesn't flow?
Well, then they're not gonna be able to get out of their driveway. I mean,
I mean, I'm
it's,
just saying, I'm just
this,
asking.
yeah, and I'm just telling you, you know,
When was the last time that you guys actually installed a culvert pipe?
we
Last
don't,
year.
we don't have the equipment to do it, we have to sub it out.
You guys did, Tabby's?
Yeah, I think we did Pappy's, we did a few other ones.
Yeah, we did one over on Thorntree that had a hole in it,
I
and,
think most people, when they're redoing their driveways, is when they do it.
right, but I'm saying,
Cause you're not gonna tear up six
but we
feet of
get
driveways
calls-
just to replace.
Mike, we get calls every year, I need my culvert replaced. And we need to just simply have the policy that we will supply you with a culvert if it's damaged, but it's your responsibility to install it and repave it.
So I would like to recommend a hybrid of that, I think that's a great recommendation in your part. One, I think we should make it available on the township website, saying when you do your driveway, please contact the township for a culvert assessment.
Yes.
Where we'd like to go out and, cause they need a permit to do their driveway anyways, right?
Right, and let's say that the hypothetical, that the culvert's in great shape, when they do their driveway, we wanna make sure it's pitched properly.
Right, so let's do a culvert assessment, please call township, and at no cost, if it needs to be replaced, the township will give you a pipe.
You will provide the culvert.
Right. Two, what Dan said, I think is a good message to put out, saying if you think you need, to replace your culvert, the township will provide you one. However, I wouldn't make it my recommendation in ordinance, because it could reverse on you, where if someone neglects to take care of their culvert, then people can say, well, the ordinance is that they have to, and the township can't spend money on that. So that would be the devil's advocate part of it.
Like if they can't
So I would leave
do it.
you the power of doing it if you need to, like if
If
the
it's
house
like
is
an older
abandoned.
lady, right.
Right, or someone's in a bad economic situation, and they simply
You can't
can't.
do that though, you
Yeah,
can't.
How
I'd
does
say-
that work?
Then I'd say, well,
Okay,
then why didn't
let me,
someone pay for my
let me
culvert?
restate that. Let me restate that. If the property's abandoned, or if the.
We'll
person's-
supply the culvert, we won't install it.
However, but if it does affect water flow and you need to be able.
That's a different thing, that's a drainage concern, that's something that we have to address.
You can't call the county to like give them a notice or something like that, or you get
No,
a fine.
That's the
from-
danger, so my only recommendation, that's the danger of passing an ordinance on it, I would definitely promote it, I think it's a great thing to start promoting, in my opinion, is saying.
How about
what if
this,
you do your
how about it's not,
driveway to-
Jeff,
this
how
is
about
what
it's
we
not an ordinance, how about it's a policy?
I would ask the attorney on that, yeah, I would ask
So
the
how would
attorney
you
on that.
word that?
That our
Maybe
policy
some
is
board
that
has
we,
to discuss
that we
on this
don't
committee.
replace
Yeah,
culverts.
I'm
we
just
supply
giving
you.
you my opinion, and that's something, again, Dan is completely right, that is for you and
Something
trustee.
for the board to
You,
discuss,
you
not
and
this
trustee
committee.
Prager need to figure that out on a board level,
Right.
but on the committee level, I would just caution you on recommending any ordinance on that issue.
Well,
I
where's
misstated,
the
let's
budget?
call it a policy.
Well, where is the budget for replacing people's culverts?
There is not a
There
budget.
isn't.
So
budget
it's
is
just, you just come out of pocket just to,
But no, so I am, again, in my opinion, I think what.
It's road repairs,
The
road
goal is
drainage
great.
repairs.
And thank you for bringing up this less expensive PVC version, I think the goal is great, let's offer homeowners an option when they do their driveway. Let's tell them,
That's already in place.
hey, if you wanna do it, yeah, but a lot of people don't know it, and.
Well, when they
and-
replace the driveway, they always get a
But again, the policy could be when they call to complain to Lissette or you or whomever, you let them know the option. I understand you're upset about your culvert, however, the township will provide you a free culvert if you would like to do it. You know,
That's it, that's the policy I want.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, you don't even have to have it written as like a policy, it's kind
That's
of
just what we
like,
do.
almost like.
Alright, if you guys are fine with that, then that's
But
just the
again, that's
direction
a
I'm
board
gonna go
decision.
forward
Thing, not
with
this
folks.
committee.
Yeah,
well,
this is, that's
maybe
a board
an
thing.
attack on, I mean, I kinda like where you were going with that, Jeff, but I think one of the things that, you could do a hardship thing. We used to do with the fire department, where if you didn't have the money and stuff and funds or whatever, we put smoke alarms and CO detectors and everything at no cost. You know, but it had to be a hardship.
But I think that's.
So that's something we have to bring up.
Well, that's a
you know,
power of
when we-
emergency assistance with
Yeah.
the supervisor's
Do
office.
you follow me? But we
Yes.
can do that, so,
Yeah, so
I
that-
like what you brought up.
Yeah.
We have
So
some
both are
widow that doesn't have any money, we're doing the street, she's like, I gotta do my driveway, if I'm doing this at this time. If it's a hardship, it would look really good to the township.
Right, Chris, when we do a street, that's part of the street, is assessing the culvert, and we cut them back all the time anyhow. Unless we have, say you just redid your driveway, and now we're gonna do your street, we're smart enough to see that, and we'll cut right by yours. But if it's a culvert that clearly is in disrepair, and we're paving the road, then we remove the culvert, put in a new culvert as part of the street project,
Right.
and pave it, because it's part of the street
Oh, so there's-
project.
Okay.
This is the one-off of somebody who's just got a hole or something in their culvert and they want it replaced. And my request is that the policy going forward is, we will supply you with a culvert if you would like to replace it. And that I'd ask you to talk to the board about, you and supervisor.
But-
We'll punt that one.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, anybody else have anything to say about the road issues and recommendations?
I'm good, I think we covered a lot tonight.
Yeah, we did, a lot more than I thought we were gonna get done, that's great.
Was there anything about the pump house, or what they're doing with that?
No, I think, to be honest with you, the last I heard, you'll love this, they're waiting on the pump house because the state of Illinois said that all components need to be manufactured in the US.
That was about 2 years ago.
Right, it's still hanging though, and the only one who makes that pump is a German company. So they're trying to get a workaround to physically get the pump. So that's what I was told at last,
Okay.
is that they were waiting on the pump.
Alright, do I have a consensus to adjourn?
Yep, I think,
I agree.
alright, thank you guys.
If anybody else wants one of those maps, let me know and I do have some
Comments
extras.
adjourned. Hold on, please shut that off.
I'm shutting it off.
Chris.
I'm good, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,